Easier for me to either put them in chat because some are. Oh, we are live. All right. Well, welcome to this week's episode of Life Leverage Series. We apologize for our delay. We were experiencing some technical difficulties, but I conquered them. Whew. Took me a few minutes, but we are back and we are excited. I am joined with Dr. Tony Hatton today. Welcome, welcome.
Awesome. Great day, Dakisha. Great day, Life Leveragers. So awesome to be back with you this week.
All right, so I just want to make sure that our viewers are out there. We are going to open the virtual networking live group so that we can communicate. If you are out there and you are watching, please let us know that you are here, and you can let us know by entering your first name, your last name, and tell us where you're from, just a little bit about what you do. And we'd love to interact with you. We are excited about our cast members that are here tonight. Three wonderful women tonight. We are all ladies. Franz has dipped out on us tonight. But he does say hello. He's been texting me, and he misses you guys already. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Tony Hatton to open us up, and I'm going to make sure that the group is open as well.
Wonderful. Welcome, Life Leveragers, to Life Leverage TV. So excited to be back with you. Again, I'm Dr. Tony Hatton, vision expert at theattractivethinker.guru. So excited to be back with you. If you've been following us for the past 5 weeks, I believe this is week 6 of Life Leverage TV, I am sure that you have received some excellent value that you can implement immediately. Tonight is going to be fantastic and amazing. You don't want to miss a beat. Stay tuned, because I definitely want you to also have a pen and paper handy. You never know when you're going to receive something, hear something, or see something that's going to make a shift in your life. We want you to also log on to virtualnetworkinglive.com. That's virtualnetworkinglive.com. Post your aha moments. You know, when the light bulb comes on for you or something touches you on a deeper level, post it right there, because life leveragers need to see that. You know, you never know when what you post will actually add value to someone else's life. And we need to hear from you as well. You know, after the series tonight, we all go into the forum just to see, you know, who was hanging out with us tonight and who was posting, who got value. So we're really excited. Stay tuned, because tonight is going to be simply amazing. So, Dakisha, who is our first interview for tonight? Do you have a bio for us? Can you hear me, Dakisha?
I guess I'm talking with the mute button on.
I saw your mouth moving.
If you only knew what I was over here doing. I'm trying to make sure that our viewers can see us. I'm not 100% sure that they are actually seeing us right now.
Okay.
So I just want to double check that. But yes, we have Kristen Young, Anisha Carter, and then Trey Kearney is on tonight.
Okay. So, do we have any bios in the chat?
I'm going to actually let Anisha, I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell us, because she has a special business out there.
Okay, awesome. Anisha, welcome to Life Leverage TV. We're so excited to have you here tonight, and all of the speakers tonight. You know, I just want to congratulate you for showing up and sharing space and time with us. And, you know, the world needs to hear what it is that you have to offer. So thank you for taking time out of your busy day. Life Leveragers, thank you for tuning in tonight, taking time out of your day. You know, this is a chunk of time, a piece of time of your life that you decided to share with us tonight, and we're so excited because we definitely have some value for you. Anisha, welcome to Life Leverage TV.
Hi, Dr. Hatton. Dakisha, thank you for making me go first. I appreciate you. Well, my name is Anisha Carter. I am from Waco, Texas, and a little bit about me. My background is in customer service, health insurance, and for me, I've always been a giver. I'm one that always wants to make sure everyone else is okay. That's in relationships, that's money-wise, that's whatever. But after a while, it starts to take a toll on you when you give more than you give back. And for me, a little bit about me is I had come to the tipping point, and Trey, she actually played a major role in me deciding to even be a part of Life Leverage, because I was at the tipping point of deciding, do I want to keep being what we call the side chick, or do I want to take a chance and step out on life and be the woman that I am and get the things that I deserve, which includes financially a good mate, one that's God fearing, and one that needs more than just the pleasure side. You know, I've always been the confidant. I'm the one that people can come to, even when they're in relationships with their mates. They can call me. They can come to me. They can come talk to me. I was always good enough for the advice, and to help you build your relationship, but not good enough to be the one. So I spoke to Trey one night. We were watching it was Shay and Trevor, and they were having it was a hangout. And I was debating. I was like, do I want to do this life leverage thing? I had a text. I had texted him my name, my email, and my phone number. And I was like, I'm a little scared. I kind of want to do this, but I don't know. And then I was watching, I put the text down, and then I was looking at something with Trey, and it was one of her videos with the woman to woman. And I was like, okay. I cried. I cried. I don't know if Trey remembers this or not, but I texted her immediately. Well, I had sent her an inbox immediately after watching one of her videos, and I was like, you know what? You don't understand. You just made me decide to do something better with my life. You just made me decide to leave that what I had to the side. You know, become the one, as a matter of fact. And Trey told me, she said, you know, we have to stick together. You know, I'm here for you. If you need any help, if you need any kind of assistance, just come talk to me. I've already been there. I've already done that. And I was amazed that this woman had come forward and just made me feel really good about making the decision that I made. To make a long story short, I hit that send button, heard from, Dr. Wright the very next day, and it's been going ever since.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes,
Anisha, you said some things that really stood out to me. You also mentioned that you were used to giving more than you were receiving.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me more about that, because there are a lot of life leveragers watching today, and I can, attest to that personally. You feel good giving, but you don't feel good not receiving. I always say to my clients, we're giving, saying yes, 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 making sure everyone else's needs are met. And when we turn around, we don't have anyone in our lives doing that for us. That all goes back to that self-worth piece, understanding that you're worthy of the love you're giving.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. That is very true. And my tipping point actually came when I'm going to say in 2010, I was with someone, and I love to cook. I love to make, different things. And for me, I gave this person a part of me that I thought was the best part. I make these chocolate covered strawberries, which everyone sees. And when I presented them to this person, they didn't receive them the way I felt they should have been received, because I put my all into it. And if I'm putting my all into anything, I expect the person receiving it to embrace it for what it is, which is a bundle of love. That person didn't receive it that way. And for me, I just decided, you know what? I'm going to show other people how to, how to embrace their relationships, how to love the person that they're with, and to focus on communication. Because for me, that is the biggest thing. I'm a giver. So I give no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's received, and I'm giving and I receive it back. But when you give so much all the time, it starts to feel like I'm not appreciated. If that makes any sense. It starts to feel like it's not appreciated. So for me, I started focusing on others that I could help them talk, help them communicate. And strawberries, as we all know, besides it being an aphrodisiac, it's a way to communicate. And I use that as a tool to help me get couples to communicate better, to embrace the love that they have, and to try to figure out where they want to be.
Awesome. You know, Anisha, as I hear you share your experience, I'm very familiar with that. And, you know, I coach clients on that all the time because when you're dealing with the type of person who is a giver, a lot of times you can get stuck in giving, but giving in the wrong direction. And when it's not
Yes.
reciprocated, because here's the deal, you're not, you know, a giver doesn't give to receive. But a giver needs to receive, you know, the same amount of love and affection and energy and time
Yes.
that they're giving to others. A giver, the heart
Yes.
of a giver is not to receive. They're born to give. They're wired to give. But when it's not
Mhm.
reciprocated, and it doesn't mean not reciprocated from the same person that they're giving it to, when it's not being poured back into their lives, they become resentful even in the
Yes.
gift. They become resentful in giving. And they know that, and here's the deal, because you're a giver, you can't stop giving. It's just who you are, right?
I am. Yes, ma'am. That is true. That is so, like right now I'm thinking of something else that I need to be doing to give to somebody else tomorrow. That's just it's just what I do. It's just what I do.
Exactly, exactly. So the point I'm trying to make here is it's not that, you know, as a giver you stop giving. You have to assess who you're giving to. You have to
Mhm.
make sure that you're giving in the right direction. You know, when you're giving and like you said, it's not being received, you probably just need to tweak the area that you're giving in just a little, you
Oh
know?
yes. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah. So tell us
Yes,
your
ma'am.
experience. Tell us your experience with that. What did you have, what shift did you have to make in order to feel that fulfillment as a giver?
What shift did I make? The shift that actually made me start seeing more of my self-worth was I started listening more to self-development. Les Brown was the very first mentor that I gravitated toward. And through him or from him, I was listening to his No Boundaries. I talk about it all the time. I listened to his No Boundaries faithfully. And when he spoke this, he was actually, it was with George Fraser, and it was at the Power Networking Convention. And I had listened to it on Audible. This is something that's part of my ritual every day. I listen to that and with my meditation and everything else that I do. And everything that Les Brown was saying in this particular speech applied to me. I could relate to everything he said, from the learning, from just being he's a bit hyper, which is my little bit of my personality. I like that. But I listened to him, and everything that he was telling me to do, I started doing. I started changing my mindset because the more positive thoughts that are coming in, the better, the more positive results you have coming out. So I changed. That was the first thing I did. I started listening to him. I just changed my mindset. I started the meditation, and every person that he spoke about, I started finding them. I would go and search them out. I would find them on Twitter or social media or wherever I could, and I'd find out about these different people, these different positive women that had made it through all kind of different things, and I just started applying those attributes that they had, and it has worked. I'm nowhere near anywhere like I was 5, 6 years ago. I'm me. The person
Mm-hmm.
that I need to be is she's here, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid of being the one that is the giver. I'm not afraid of being the one that can make a difference because I used to sit back. I didn't want anyone to really just see me because things would come kind of easily for me, but I didn't want to be the center of attention. I didn't want to be, take too much away from someone else, if that makes a difference. If I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I didn't want to seem like I was trying to steal the limelight. So I would let others do what they
Mm-hmm.
needed to do. But I know that this is something that I can help others with, is in communicating and showing the love to your mate. And it's just worked for me. Everything has worked. Everyone that I've come in contact with, all of the knowledge that's been poured into me, it's just bettering me. This person
Mm-hmm.
that needs to be able to come to tell my story without tears, come to tell my story where I can help another woman find her self-worth and know, baby, you are it. you
Yeah.
you are, whether you know it or not, you are. And
Yeah.
that's just what I see. That's just me.
You know, Anisha, I like several things you said. You know, right towards the end, you said, I am here. You said, the person I need to be is here, and baby, you are it.
That's
What a
right.
journey. And I'm
That's
sure
right.
you would agree, it is a journey back to me.
This is not
That's
for
what
the weak.
this whole, yeah, that's what all this activity is about, all this personal growth and self-development that you mentioned.
Yes.
It is a journey back to me. And again, in order to journey back to yourself, because it's so funny you mentioned that. One of my clients posted that in our private forum, in one of our forums this evening, about how to shift, because she saw an article on my website, how to shift from where you are, who you are now,
Mm,
to the authentic you, being in alignment with who you truly are. That's when the flow really takes place in your life. When you're
it
not,
does.
when you're not tied to people's opinions, when you're not tied to validation, when you're not always asking for, people's opinions about your decisions, when you're not
Mm-mm.
running things by everybody and needing 10 confirmations, when you have that strong self-belief going on, that's when the flow takes place. And that's a
Yes.
journey. That's not going to happen overnight. That is a journey,
It-
and we have to embrace that journey and become one with that journey and understand that we will get there. We will get back to our authentic selves if we don't quit. Would you agree?
I like her. Yes, I agree completely.
Anisha, would you,
I agree completely.
Anisha, would you tell our life leveragers how they can find out more about you and what it is that you do, how they can, stay
Oh,
connected?
yes. Sure. My name is Anicia Carter, of course, and you can reach me at on Facebook under Anicia Carter. You can reach me on Twitter under Cupid's Baby Sis, because I am his baby sis. And you can also email me if you need to reach me. My email is loveisintheair12, which is LUV, is in the air, the number 12 at gmail.com.
Awesome.
Come talk
Thank
to
you
me.
so much for joining us tonight, Anisha, on Life
I
Leverage
enjoyed
TV.
it.
We so
Thank
honor your
you.
presence, you sharing space and time with us, and much success to you. We want to encourage you to hang out with us every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Life
Oh,
Leverage
yes.
TV.
It's been an
Awesome.
honor. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. Trey Kearney, Life Leveragers, I definitely want to introduce you to our next guest on Life Leverage TV. It's Trey Kearney. She's a child of God, mother, mentor, actress, and entrepreneur. This native of Essex County, New Jersey, is a Renaissance woman who knows that she can do all things through Christ that strengthens her. With over 20 years of in the entertainment industry, Trey has seen a lot and lived the life that most women desire by the age of 25. She was married, had access to stars, and was living the lavish life, but where much is given, much is required. The Woman to Woman show is her platform to share her journey and hopefully help restore hope in women, men, and families after infidelity. Welcome to Life Leverage TV, Trey.
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic and amazing. How are you?
I am great and I am so happy to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So tell us a little bit about your journey and your bio. As I was reading your bio, it appears that you support women,
Yes.
and we would love to hear more about that. We have a lot of women on viewing Life Leverage TV right now.
Yes, welcome, ladies. First, I want to say hashtag no side chicking. I am very passionate about this subject because I was once a side chick. I want to start by saying that. So this is a no judgment zone. I am not judging anybody because I used to be you. I just want to say that as women for the Woman to Woman show, and I always hashtag my sister's keeper because that's what I am. On a Woman to Woman show, it's a platform where we remove men from the equation and we hold women accountable for their part in infidelity because we have our part too. We've been saying for so long that men are the problem, men are dogs, men are doing this, but who are they doing it with? So we have to take accountability for our part. And I speak to side chicks because I know the devastating effects that being a side chick has on families, not just on a woman whose husband you're sleeping with. There's a trickle down to generations, and I know because I did it. I changed the course of 4 generations of my sons, the man whose children who I was messing with, his daughters, his ex-wife, my ex-husband. I changed generations. I changed the way my grandchildren are going to be raised. Instead of them being raised and having that connection with me and their grandfather, there's a split now. So there'll be another party involved. So I always want to tell side chicks, this is not only going to affect one person. And, you know, I get a lot of side chicks who say, you know, it's not my problem, it's not my fault, it's the husband. Yes, it is. I say this all the time. Cheating is if you are sleeping with somebody's husband, fiance, or boyfriend knowingly, you're an abuser.
I'm
I
sorry,
need you to process
Trey.
that right now.
Trey,
Hashtag
I'm sorry,
no
you
side
went out
chicking.
a minute. Could you say that again? Cheating is a...
Cheating is a form of abuse. And if you are sleeping with somebody's husband, boyfriend, or fiance knowingly, you are an abuser. Just because the woman doesn't know your face or your name doesn't mean that you're not hurting her. So we have to take accountability. And that's why I held myself responsible and I changed my life around, because I need to make sure that my sons get the right message, because I came from dysfunction. I know that a lot of women come from dysfunction, and we see things in our homes that are not proper, and we think that dysfunction is normal. We have to learn what normal is, and it starts with not sleeping with each other's men, because that is not a normal process. We have to rebuild our families. We as the women, it starts with us. One woman at a time. It starts with us. If we just said no to another person's husband, things would change. If I just made that decision, if I didn't make that poor decision that one day to sleep with somebody else's husband, my children, his ex-wife, my ex-husband's, everybody's life would be changed. And I say this to the side chicks. Have you ever seen your mother, sister, aunt, cousin, best friend be cheated on? When I was being cheated on, because and I'm going to tell you right now, karma, it will come back for you, because it came back on me. The very man who I was with, who I left my husband for, he left his wife for me. The very man was cheating on me, and I got it full throttle. So it comes back on you. So you have to understand, I know how it feels to be cheated on now, and to watch my friends, my cousins, my aunties be cheated on. I know that I would never, ever want to do that to another. Have you ever seen a woman be cheated on, Dr. Harden? It's a terrible thing to go through. It's like a cancer. You can't eat, you can't sleep, your hair is falling out, you're stressing, and we have to stop that. And on the other end, I also hold the wives accountable, because as wives, and I've been in that situation too, we do things where we leave a crack in the door for a side chick to get in. We have to make sure that we maintain our relationships. We have to make sure we listen to our husbands. And I tell women all the time, I'm never excusing a man for bad behavior, because some men are just not grown men. But when you're dealing with a man that you love and who respected you, who married you, and you're just not listening to him when he communicates something to you, if you were doing things with him when you first married him, you must maintain your relationship. So wives, I'm never blaming any man for cheating, because it is his responsibility and his choice if he cheats. But if your man is saying that there are things that he is not getting and you're putting him on a back burner, you are leaving a crack in the door of your home for somebody to creep into it.
Wow, wow, wow. So, Trey, tell us a little bit about, because you said a mouthful, you called them side chicking. You call that
Yes,
process side chicking.
side
So,
chicking.
right. So give us an example of, because a lot of times, you know, women may fall into these categories and they don't know that they're in that category. They don't know why they're there, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm sure you might be able to attest to this, that, you know, even in that process, there comes a point in time where you want out and can't get out.
Yes, and that's what the Woman to Woman show is all about. It's not about judgment, it's about support. It's about a support system, because when I was in that situation, I needed somebody to tell me, Trey, you're bugging. And I'm going to keep you straight and 100 and talk the way that I talk, because I need women to understand we have woman on woman crime, and the men, not that they're winning, but they're winning. We're losing because we're attacking each other over a man. So we're fighting over these men, and they're not learning anything. There's no consequences to their actions, so nothing is going to change. You are a side chick if you cannot spend the holidays with him. You are a side chick, and there's a lot of women who accept this, Dr. Harton. They accept a man calling them and telling them, I can't get out tonight because my wife is bugging. You're better than that. You deserve better than that. You should never let a man put you second. We have to learn. Not only do we teach people how to treat us, we teach people how to love us. And sisters, we deserve the best. We don't deserve to be second. We deserve to be not number one. We deserve to be the only one. And we have to learn that and understand. We have to set the bar higher, and we have to be on one accord as women that we are not accepting this anymore.
So when you say stop, we should not accept that and stop accepting being second. So what is the root of that? Help us out with that.
Okay.
What is the reason why? And I know it probably has a lot to do with self-esteem. Feeling as though you don't deserve better. We got to get to the root. These are the roots that need to be uprooted in order for a woman to understand clearly that she deserves her own man, right?
Yes, there are a lot of reasons why women do this. So this is the problem. Women, we have to go back to the point of why we think that we don't deserve to be number one, or what we've seen as we were growing up. Like I said, we've all grown up in different lenses. I grew up in a house with my mom. God rest her soul. I love my mother to death. She was the best mother ever. But there were some things that I saw that I thought was normal that wasn't. I lived in the house with my stepfather, and this is where the root of my problem came in. So women have to go back and figure out where it came in for them. And Dr. Haddon, it goes all the way back to our childhoods. My mother I was in the house with my stepfather from the time I was 5 until I was 25 when he passed away. Lived with this man. This man was married to another woman. So when he passed away, my mother got nothing. His wife came, who was never in the picture, but they never divorced. So for me to see that, and I thought it was okay for me to mess with somebody's husband because that's what was normal to me. So you have to surround yourself now around people who have success, who don't cheat, so that you know what normal is, not your dysfunctional normal. Because my ex-husband, he grew up in a home with his mother and his father and his 6 brothers and 6 sisters. The father went out and worked. The mother stayed home, took care of the kids, didn't drive. The father was the breadwinner and a protector. So when he came into my life, he was the perfect man. I just didn't get it because there was partying in my house. We didn't sit down at the table at 6 o'clock. So I looked at him like he was crazy because my lens was so foggy from my dysfunction being normal to me. So women have to find out where the root of that comes from. Like you said, and that was such a great word. I'm going to use that. I just put it in my notes. We have to find out where the root comes from so we can uproot it and we can know and look at successful people with a successful blueprint on what a successful relationship looks like. Hashtag people no side chicken. Hashtag no man sharing.
Wow. Awesome, 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 Trey. Tell Life Leveragers how they can connect with you and how they can learn more about your movement.
Oh, yes. You can connect with me at www.the2wshow.com. You can connect with me at WTrayK on Instagram and Twitter, at WTRAYKAY on Instagram and Twitter, or you can email me w2wshow@gmail.com. And I'm here, ladies, to support you. This is no judgment. I used to be you. I love you, my sisters. We have to stick together because that's the only way it's going to change. You deserve the best, ladies. If we get on one accord, we can change the world. I promise you.
I totally agree. Thank you so much, Trey, for joining us tonight, sharing space and time with us on Life Leverage TV. And Life Leveragers, I'm sure you received some value from hearing Trey share her story. I look forward to connecting and hearing more about what it is that you do to support women. And you're absolutely right, Trey. We as women have so much power, and it's time for us to take that power back. Thank you so much, and stay connected. Stay tuned to Life Leverage TV tonight, every Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
Yes, love you, Dr. Haddon. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you, Keisha.
Kristen Young, welcome to Life Leverage TV.
Hello. Great evening, everyone. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Kristen Young is the marriage enthusiast. She's a certified relationship coach with a master's degree in counseling psychology. She created her own company, Living the Vows, to bring joy to marriages. Her mission is to partner with 3 million couples who are committed to living the vows and loving it. She supports soonly weds who are planning to marry one, who are planning to marry one great time as well as newlyweds through the first 5 years. Welcome,
Yes.
Kristen, to Life Leverage TV.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about what it is that you do. I mean, we're really into, this must be relationship night.
I know. I was listening. I said I'm definitely on the right night and right company. This is awesome.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is awesome. Basically, what I focus on, and as you said, I work with primarily newlyweds, which is my word for singles who have a strong intention to be married one day. But my goal is to reach them before they are in a relationship, before they're engaged, because oftentimes when we think of your typical premarital counseling or premarital coaching, it's once you're already engaged, once you have the wedding date set, and you're just kind of going through the motions before the wedding day. So my goal is to reach out to singles before they enter into a relationship, to be able to say, hey, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking to do, and then I can make an informed decision moving forward and pay attention to certain flags and certain things about me as I prepare for that one great marriage instead of several good ones.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit, Kristen, about singles, their experiences. I love the word you use, soonly weds, because, a lot of singles are, they're dreaming about being married, and they think that's the ultimate goal, and they would like to prepare, I know, you may have experienced that. There are resources that they need to have in place before making that ultimate decision. So tell us a little bit, we have a lot of singles right here on Life Leverage TV that are watching right now that are like really tuned in, or like, okay, Kristen, what can you tell me? I'm a soonly wed, or I'm in a relationship, or we're headed in that direction. What are some tips and resources that you could share with them to reinforce this journey in making the right decision and preparing them for making that decision?
The one thing that I will always, always, always teach from the very beginning is we have to be mindful of self. There are so many times when, well, actually, when you think about when we're first born, we are selfish by nature. You come out of the womb, you're crying because you don't know what's going on. You want the nurturing, you want the attention. When you're hungry, you cry, you do it, you want what you want when you want it. And if you don't have it your way, you have a tantrum about it. And as we continue to grow older, we get to that space where we start to learn more about other people. We start to recognize other people and what their desires are, what their feelings are. And as we continue to grow, we have to learn how to let go of that selfish nature and learn what service is really about. Because any marriage, the key to a great marriage is about service. We don't marry for ourselves. We marry for that other person. How can we best serve that other person? And if we stay in that mentality in the very beginning, as we're preparing, we can recognize, hey, you know what? I'm still in a super selfish place right now. And what I always say is you have to be self, no ish. So that ish is your internal sorry habits. So we have to be able to recognize what they are, recognize those things that are holding us back and that are keeping us in that selfish state of mind, so that we can slowly start to let that go in order to be able to serve with a full heart.
So, Kristen, I'm listening to what you're saying, and it's so juicy. Because you said that we should be going into marriage to serve. Tell me something from your experience. How many soonly weds are you aware of that really, by the time they get to you, they're really going into the marriage to serve? And when I say how many, I don't mean you can count them on your finger, but I mean, is it a minority or is it a majority?
It's definitely a minority, because and to be honest, even for myself, when I entered into marriage, I knew I wanted to be married, but it truly was not. I am a giver, and I am a person of service, which was helpful, but that was not my full intention. So it's very rare that you will actually find someone who has truly gotten to that place to say yes. Now, more often than not, when you do see that, it's because they're already divorced and working on the second or third marriage. It's very rare you see that coming in on the first marriage, because unfortunately, when you think about that first marriage, you're typically in somewhere in your 20s or 30s, and when we recognize how differently we raise our girls versus our boys. I have 2 toddlers. They're 2 and 4 years old. So they're totally about the Disney princesses and the kitchen sets and playing with doll babies. So we teach our little girls at a very young age how to be like mommy, how to, focus on that special wedding day and that Cinderella day. Our little boys are playing karate and G.I. Joes and wrestling, and they're not playing the role of Prince Charming. That's not what we're training our little boys on. So girls are coming in with that mentality from a very young age. I'm just looking for my Cinderella day. So we're so focused on the wedding, more often than not, we're not even considering the marriage. We just we'll figure it out once, whatever happens, and we know we'll have challenges, but we're good friends, so we'll get through it. And it's so much more preparation that's needed. And unfortunately, there's no law that requires marriage preparation. Anyone can go to the courthouse, get a marriage certificate, and within 24 to 72 hours, you can turn right back around and marry whoever's name you put on that certificate. So it's all about being able to say, you know what, let's look at that preparation piece. How can we get clarity about who we are and why we are coming together?
Awesome, awesome. That is so true, and that is so necessary, because just like any relationship, going into any relationship, you definitely want some things in place to strengthen and fortify and secure the relationship, and have the right intention. We do that for all other relationships, having goals, setting intentions, and, being on purpose. And, marriage, that's like a big decision, it's like a lifelong decision if that's what your values are. And these things need to be, that clarity piece needs to be in place. Like, why do you want to be married? That's a big question when you ask couples that, who are engaged or soonly weds, or even dreaming and anticipating about being married. And tell us a little bit, Kristen, about like you said, and I love it how you said raising girls is totally different from raising boys, and how we prepare both of them, for life and how they show up in the world. But tell us a little bit about, the expectation, what expectation should a woman have? Because here's the deal, this is what I'm noticing. I think we've been programmed to think or believe that you go to school, after school, you get married, you get a job, you get married. As a single, a soonly wed or a single person, a single male or female, they feel as though that's the next thing to do, right?
Yeah.
It's right. A whole lot of dynamics involved, when it comes down to, okay, like, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And marriage is always in the mix. Marriage is not for everybody.
No, it surely isn't. It surely isn't. And I so appreciate what you were sharing, because that is one of the challenges that we run into. And even sometimes for the men, there's that period of, they may finish school, and we often hear that girls or females mature faster than men. So there's that period for a lot of men where after they finish college, if they finish college, they're kind of in that wilderness space. So they're trying to figure out, what do I do next, because I'm supposed to get a wife. So we have to get in that place where we recognize it's not the next step. There's no map that says marriage has to come after anything in particular. So we have to understand we are okay. And unfortunately, our elders push us a little bit too much. There's a lot of pressure from our elders who are saying, because they grew up, they finished high school and got married. And women's views and rights were a whole lot different from the way they are now. So growing up, our grandparents growing up, many of our grandmothers didn't work. They were stay-at-home moms, and their intention was to raise the family. That's what they felt they were created to do. So we have to get to that place where we recognize that's no longer the norm, and it is totally okay to get married later in life. It's totally okay to, one of the things I always want people to recognize is we have to know who we are and where we're going before we get married, because the whole idea of being able to come together with another person is to enhance your future. But if you have no idea what that future is, you have no idea what you're going to need and what kind of support you need for that. So until you get clarity on your own mission and your own path, there's no reason to bring somebody else into that, because you're just coming into a whole bunch of unnecessary confusion.
Yes, a lot of chaos. I totally agree. Kristen, thank you so much for sharing that. We are so looking forward to hearing more of your story and your mission and your movement on Life Leverage TV series. Tell our viewers how they can learn more about what it is that you do and actually connect.
Sure. Well, you can find me on all things Living the Vows. So our website is www.livingthevows.com. On Facebook, we're Living the Vows. On Twitter, @Living the Vows. On Instagram, Living the Vows. And of course, you can email me, yes, Y-E-S, @livingthevows.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You're quite welcome. Life Leveragers, wow, tonight was amazing. I'm sure you received value. I would like to encourage you to visit Virtual Networking Live. Write that down, Virtual Networking Live, and post your comments and your takeaways right there in the forum. You never know when what you post is going to really make a difference and be a breakthrough for someone else who may not have had the opportunity to share space and time with us tonight on Life Leverage TV, but will actually go to the forum just to see some comments, made by the viewers. And I definitely want to encourage everyone to stay tuned every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock right here on Life Leverage TV, where real people share real stories with real solutions. I am Dr. Tony Hatton, vision expert at www.theattractivethinker.guru, and I definitely have a free gift for everyone. If you take out your cell phones and text @mindset, that's MINDSET, @mindset to 410-415-1771. That's 410-415-1771. I so look forward to hearing from you. I encourage you to stay tuned every Tuesday. When you hear real people share real stories with real solutions, it inspires, motivates, and gives you clarity. As you heard one of our speakers say tonight, she heard a conversation, she heard, a movement going on, and it motivated her to make the decision that she needed to make in her own life to launch her life forward. So again, this is Dr. Tony Hatton signing out from Life Leverage TV. Remember, it's not what you're going through, it's how you're viewing it. Think attractively. Good night, everyone.